Call to order. This time I'll ask Mr. Smith to lead us in our invocation.
Pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this time that we can come conduct the county's business. We just pray for wisdom during this time, and we just want to continue to be with those, ask you to be with those that are sick, those family members, Lord, that are affected by this virus. There's been many deaths in our own community, and we just pray for families to ask you to lift them up. Continue to be with our employees every day, Lord, keep them safe, and we just thank you for the job that they do for every citizen in our county. And once again, we thank you for the opportunity we have to serve as councilmen of this county, and we just pray that our decisions always be in the best interest of all people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Next, we'll have roll call.
Tracy McDaniel.
Here.
Tim Spencer.
Here.
Quay Little. Lyman Dawkins. Here. David Smith. Here. Elliot.
Here.
Have a motion we adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Heard this motion second. Any further discussion about the agenda? Not all in favor, please indicate by show of hands. Next, I need approval of the minutes of regular meeting of 2/16/2020.
Move.
Heard this motion, or this second. You've heard this motion second. Any further discussion about the minutes? If not all in favor, please indicate by show of hands. Next, I need approval of the claims of Cherokee County in an amount of $459,871.93.
So moved.
Heard this motion second. Any further discussion about the claims? Not all in favor, please indicate by show of hands. Next, we have employee recognition. Mr. Patton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've asked 5 ladies to be here tonight because I wanted to recognize them, and I know you gentlemen do also, for their efforts in the vaccination process that we went through, and the monthly testing that we continue to go through every month for food that's been provided to us through the state. But these folks, basically, I don't know if they volunteered or if they were kind of asked to volunteer very politely, and they went above and beyond what they were required to do. I'm going to ask them all to come up here in just a moment, and I've got a little something to give to them to show our appreciation. But Beverly Carver, you all know, was working from home with COVID, helping us get this thing set up. So I want to mention that. And also I want to mention Jenny Parnell. Jenny is a lieutenant in 911. And I know Rick had a lot to do with it, but Rick might agree with me, if he's being honest, that without Jenny, a lot of this wouldn't have happened. And she worked tirelessly. Bless her heart, I was texting her at 9:30 on Saturday nights trying to get stuff lined up for this. And so all of them worked very hard on this, but I wanted them to be here tonight to let us recognize them for their efforts. Now, I'm not recognizing Rick, because for me, it's Rick's job. Rick did his job, so he can be mad at me if he wants to. But Rick, he's like me sometimes. He's a air traffic controller, and he was getting people in the right place. But these folks were really boots on the ground. So at this time, I'm gonna ask Beverly Carver, Teresa, Kaylee Cash, Sierra Walker, and Jenny Parnell, if y'all will come up here to the front. Guys, I'm just gonna have them come up here in front. We'll give them, you've got a certificate of appreciation for each of them. It says certificate of appreciation in appreciation of your efforts in assisting emergency management with vaccination of over 500 people during the COVID-19 pandemic. Cherokee County Council expresses their sincere gratitude for your service. Along with the plaque, I've got each of them a small gift card to a restaurant. So we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for all y'all hard work and all y'all did in making this happen.
Y'all stay here and let us get a picture. Yeah, you're, like a footage. I hear you. Go ahead. You want to switch your own little please? Hold on, sir. What's up here? Yeah. Ready? All right. Yeah, thank you. This is American 100 today.
Next, we have a resolution, this is 2021-03, to express the intention of Cherokee County, South Carolina, to cause the county to be reimbursed with the proceeds of tax exempt obligations and other matters related thereto.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, this is being sent to us from our bond attorney and Lawrence Flynn, who you all know. He sent this to me upon my discussions with him regarding some of our upcoming capital projects that you all are very well aware of, meaning the purchase of the Ace Hardware building and the eventual renovation of that building, as well as the eventual construction of our public works complex. And basically what you're doing with this resolution is you're drawing a line in the sand and saying anything that you spend from this moment forward is reimbursable by a tax exempt bond, which is a general obligation bond that we can utilize in the construction or renovation of those facilities. So this is, all you're doing by passing this is saying anything that we spend from here forward is eligible to be reimbursed to the county by that bond.
For this resolution, or the motion?
So moved.
For this motion, second. Any further discussion on this resolution?
So you have anything to add? Is everything pretty straightforward?
Yes,
What you said?
yes, sir.
Motion and or second. If no further discussion, all in favor, please indicate so advance. Next, we have an ordinance. This is the second reading of ordinance number 2021-03, authorizing the diminution of the boundaries of Spartanburg Sanitary Sewer District, South Carolina, and Cherokee County, South Carolina, providing for the publication of notice of the said findings and authorization, and generally approving other matters relating thereto.
Move.
For this motion, second. Any further discussion on this second reading? Not all in favor, please indicate by show of hands. Next, we hear from the Public Works Committee, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Tracy McDaniel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Public Works Committee met this afternoon at 4 p.m. with all members present and full council present. We had a couple of things that we talked about. We have a couple of bridges that are low in weight limitations, and we talked about Fry Road Bridge and also Smoke Ridge Road Bridge, and administration is going to report back to council with some recommendations on those bridges in the future. Also, we had a firm, KCI, present to us a road evaluation system study in which looks at all the county roads within our system that we maintain, and will grade these roads based on condition. And this committee made a motion and does make a motion that we contract with KCI for $34,700. This cost would be paid for from the county council road money, and that is a motion, a recommendation, and a motion from the Public Works Committee.
You've heard this motion, or there second? Heard this motion, second. Any further discussion of this contract? Not all in favor, please indicate by show of hands.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. McDaniel. Next, we have a bid opening. This is bid number 2021-18. This is the Cherokee County Timber Thinning.
Mr. Chairman, put out a bid several weeks ago for thinning of timber around Lemuel Road and around our landfill as needed. There are two specific sections where we were in need of doing some thinning. Had some advice given to us, and in looking at those particular pieces of property, it was time to do so. One particular plot, the right side of Lemuel Road as you're driving toward the landfill, has never been thinned since we purchased it. So it's certainly something that we need to do so that the timber that's there can thrive a little bit better. The other, which is on Concord Road, it's just time, as part of the timber management plan that the county has in place on our properties, that it was time that we redid that and took a look at the thinning there. Also, we were advised that the timber market had come back pretty significantly. As you recall, when we did some clearing for the Public Works complex, we got some pretty low prices, so we put it back in bid, advertised it on Skibo, on the county website, and so forth, and left it out for the required amount of time. And so the deadline to receive those bids, I believe, was last Thursday, and we've gotten that bid here tonight. We only received one bid. So if I can, Mr. Chairman, I'll go forward with opening this bid. The bid is from Scruggs Timber Company. Price provided, we bid it to where there were three items. There was a pine pulpwood price, a pine ply log price, and a pine ply log price for large logs. The per ton price is $12 on pine pulpwood, $19 on pine ply log price for small logs, and for large logs it's $26 per ton.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Right, is this the same company that bid it last time?
It is. Call, we received bids time on a clearing and didn't really like that price. Put it back out to bid, and we received another bid. But this particular bid is from Scruggs, which they've done a lot of work for the county over the years.
I take if nobody wants to make a motion, we're gonna table this?
Put it in the form. We've already contracted with them to do the thinning, and they gave us a whole lot better price than we. I think they're.
Produce motion and a second. Any further discussion? Right about how many acres is that gonna be?
One moment, Mr. Chairman, I'll give you that information, I believe. It's 108, no.
Do you remember that, Mr. Brad? What the difference was it 5,000 and she gave us 20?
It was significant, Mr. Little, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was something.
Mr. Chairman, I thought I had that. I do not have that, but it is the entire right-hand side of Lemuel Road up to where we own on Concord, where we're doing the thinning, and a small amount on the left-hand side where we're going to be building our animal shelter. Around in there, we'll be doing some thinning, and the rest of it is up on Concord Road just past the landfill.
Okay, they are a motion, they are a second. Any further discussion? Not all in favor, please indicate with your hands. Mr. Mathis?
Mr. Chairman, a motion is requested to go into executive session pursuant to section 3470A1 for the discussion of a personnel matter arising from administration.
You've heard this request, are there a motion? Motion is second, all in favor of going into executive session, please identify by show of hands. You stand adjourned. Call to order. Mr. Mathis, if you would.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. A motion would be in order to return to regular session from executive session. And Madam Clerk, let the record reflect no action was taken in executive session.
Heard this request, order a motion. Second. Motion and a second, all in favor, return to regular session, please identify, show of hands. Thank you, Mr. Mathis. Next, we'll hear from our Administrator, Steve Black.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of items on my briefing tonight. Some of you have been reading about litter, which is a major problem in our county, as all of you are already well aware. And the funny thing about that was, prior to them being in the media, we had a meeting set up with Palmetto Pride. We've been talking about that a while, and last week, Sierra Walker and myself met with folks from Palmetto Pride from Columbia. They came up and met with us, and we've talked about several things that we could do to address this. Saw a quote in the newspaper that I thought was very appropriate. A lot of people on social media are saying, well, they ought to ticket these people $1,000. Well, nobody litters when there's police around, so it's hard to catch. But what we're looking at doing is having a community cleanup day. I have given this chore to Sierra. She's going to head this thing up for us. The date we're looking at right now, actually the date we've settled on is April the 24th. That is the Saturday after Earth Day. Earth Day is actually during the week, so we're looking at April the 24th. And what we're going to do is Palmetto provide us with all the supplies we need to do a community cleanup. So they'll provide us with bags, grabbers, vests, that sort of thing. And then we're going to task our trash trucks to come along after the fact and pick up the trash that is picked up. There is numerous roads in this county that we could pick to do, but what I'm asking you all to do is to pick some roads in your district and get those to me, and we're going to do we're going to try to blanket the county on that Saturday. And of course, I'm going to encourage you all to get out there and help us, and we'll do like a 9 to 2 pickup, or some set hour, maybe 9 to 12 pickup. We're hoping to involve church groups, of course, school groups, PTAs, community organizations. So we're trying to really blanket the county and make this a big deal. We've done some little things like this, I know, over in the East Gaffney area at times, but we've got some roads that need some attention really badly. We're going to try to do a few fun things, maybe to give some prizes for various things. But again, it's just something that it's needed. It's not a preventative measure by any means, but it's certainly something that we're just trying to do to clean the community up. As far as prevention, it's all about pride and having pride in your community and so forth. So we certainly work toward those things also, but this is the first step that we're trying to take, which is a community cleanup day. Yes, sir.
Let me address something real quick that you reminded me with the driver. We need to get those on our trash trucks. The reason I say that is, and disclaimer, our solid waste collection people do a great job. It's a thankless job, it's a dirty job, and they do a fine job. But not through their own fault, we formed a policy that says any trash that does not make it into the truck, out of the trash can, that because of the code, that they can't pick up the trash. Well, I was going down Wilkinsville Highway about a week ago, and there was a trash can that had been pushed back, being emptied, and half the trash cans laid out beside the trash can. Clearly trash that had been in the can and didn't make it in the truck. I found that in some of my neighbors' yard, but the policy that has been formed, not to their own fault, but a policy either from administration or from solid waste, is if the trash does not make it from the can in the truck, it's to be left on the ground because of the code. Well, we can have grabbers or something that picks, because we're contributing to litter in and of our own self, and clearly the trash was put in the can and should have made it to the truck. The people did it right. So they do a great job, but we've got to change that policy to where the trash gets in the truck.
That's not our policy, Mr. Bowles.
And I was told that, because I asked about it.
Our policy is you can't set bags beside your trash can,
Right,
and us pick those bags up. Now, if trash falls out of a trash can while it's being tipped, they are responsible for picking that trash up, and they have gloves They've never been told if they drop trash, don't pick it up. That's never been
I think
taught.
they have, because I was told that.
I'm not sure.
I was told that if the trash is on the ground, they can't pick it up. Now, I don't know if it was intended that they dropped it out, or it's just people had left trash on the ground. Clearly, some of the trash that I've seen in neighbor yards, especially on Wilsonville Highway, was not trash that was just left on the ground. It came out of the trash can. Clearly, it's sitting where the trash can was, but let's get some gravity, for the pieces of trash that were really dropped. And I was told that those that once it hits the ground, they're not allowed to pick it up and go cut. We can get some gravity. We need to reiterate if whatever the policy is. I mean, if you pick trash up that you drop, if they don't think they can, they need to be told they can. Yeah, clarify.
Well, I did not know the problem, Mr. Foltz. That's never been my policy, and my policy simply being, you can't pile trash beside the trash can in bags and us pick them up, because we're getting, and it wasn't really, it happened during COVID, but it was because of needle sticks. We had several needle sticks because we were grabbing bags.
Some of the trash that I've seen, I don't know if those councils noticed it, where they dump it up on the truck, and all of a sudden you have tissue and a bottle, laying right there at the edge of the grass, clearly where the trash truck was parked, and the trash can rolled about 3 feet away from it, clearly that trash was there prior to that trash can being unloaded. So you just, I understand it's not of their own doing, if it's a policy that's been told in, then it's a policy problem.
It's not my policy, so we'll address that, by email right now in a minute.
Thank you.
Mr. Bratton, are you doing this community cleanup in all the county at one time, or are you gonna do a district at a time?
Well, what we're trying to do is, we're relying on community organizations to do this. So we want each community to, and schools within these districts to participate. I mean, I would hope that folks that, just picking on Mr. McDaniel, if we do in the Antioch community, I don't expect folks from Mr. Dawkins' district to go to Antioch. So I'm hoping if we identify roads within each district on that Saturday, that we can make on one day, make a huge effort. And we're going to task myself and Sierra and some others within our organization to help make sure and orchestrate this and make sure it's done properly. So we'll be at each of those places providing supplies and that sort of thing. So we plan all at once. And now we're going to, like I said, we're doing it April 4th. There is a rain date in case it's raining. We'll put it off until I think it's May the 8th, I believe is the date, Sierra. So we're at social media, newspaper. I'm going to go on Dennis Fowler's radio show in the morning. That's all I do. And we're going to promote it within schools. We'll rely on you gentlemen, and I'll get this information to the schools. I'm hoping teachers offer extra credit if their kids show up. I mean, anything. But we hope to generate a lot of interest in it.
What about the COVID and all? Can people?
They'll be providing gloves, of course, grabbers and that sort of thing. So they will have those protections in place to where I don't expect anybody to go along and grab with their bare hands. So we'll have bags and so forth to put in.
That, you know.
Social distance type.
Let me ask you this, in regards to the people and sponsors that already do roads, are you getting in contact with them to really get out there during that time period too? Because
such as during highway settings? Yes. We can, yes sir, we can do that.
If we're pushing them, then maybe they can do it on that day and we can take those off the list. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Adopt the highway, I don't know that we're going to do that road, then that organization should be handling that, but we would certainly be in touch.
On that day that it's really big, because if we can do it and just know where all it's coming there, but I've seen these on the we have now.
Well, there's been media attention just in our county, but Spartan has done some stories, and they think because of COVID, a lot of people are eating out. A lot of fast food bags thrown out, and so forth, and I don't understand that mindset that you throw it out, but it happens, and it's happening more and more. So we're trying to do what we can to help clean the place up, really instill some pride for everybody within our county. Along the same lines, we we get calls every once in a while about a dump that's right off the side of a road on a right of way. And what we're trying to do is if we go pick that up with Roads and Bridges, we'll go through it. And if we find names, addresses, phone numbers, we'll find them. I've got pictures recently where we told you got 24 hours to get it, or we're turning it over to the police. Well, Sonny was there the next day taking pictures of them, pick it up. I mean, we've been fortunate to do some things, but the courts have been shut down. There's been no court allowed, so we can't get in front of a judge to hopefully get some enforcement action against some folks. But this is something that we've been talking about for some time, and I just feel strongly about it that we need to do it. And I think we can generate some excitement and get some folks behind us in the schools and so forth, hopefully.
We did this twice in the East Gaffney area, more or less orchestrated by the pastor of East Gaffney Church, Gary Wright. I was involved in both of them. And really, Steve, I mean, I know you asked him for volunteers, but there was no volunteers. The only people that was members of East Gaffney Church.
I hope we're able to reach a whole lot more people than we were, because I don't know how well they publicize this thing, but I'm reaching out to these schools. I'm hoping schools, civic organizations are going to be huge for us, and church. And in all districts, there's plenty of churches who I believe will go out and help. I think the city's trying to do this same thing. I saw in the paper last week that the mayor is trying to do this. So I don't think it's that day, no, sir.
East Gaffney actually.
We could do the same day? That would be
I don't set anything yet, but I don't know the date. I just know that.
Join us.
Okay, I can do that.
They had about 6 different groups, and there was about 4 people to 5 people in each group. And we did from 4th Street all the way down to River Drive.
You cover territory, pick trash, but like I said, I mean, hopefully we can do this and just generate some excitement to clean some roads. We are some. We got to be careful about age groups and all that sort of thing. So be sure kids are supervised and that sort of thing. So Sierra is handling this whole thing. So she's put together some guidelines that we're going by, and we're running all that through Palmetto Pride, and we're doing Palmetto Pride. So hopefully we're going to get some good publicity from them, and they will help us push this also.
That'd be great.
So what I want from y'all is, if you will, look around your district in the next couple weeks. Give me some roads that need to be cleaned up that you know of. I can tell you one that's split, District 6, one's East Junior High Road. It don't matter how often we pick it up, or the detention center pick that road up, within a few weeks it's right back where it was. So that's right. And so just find stuff that and it don't have to be a county road, state road. That don't matter about what kind of road it is. We're just looking for roads that pick up. If nothing else there, the next item is just letting you know that the 21-22 budget process has begun. All the budgets were turned into us by February the 15th was the date. Johnny and I have started meeting with department heads, and we're doing those. I don't know if we'll be done this week or if we got to go through part of it next week, but we're meeting with about 3 to 4 a day. So just letting you know that. And then, of course, the calendar will be very similar to what it has been in the past, to where hopefully in April we will just start deliberations here, and we'll just have a budget workshop and so forth, so that we can present all those requests to you all, and we can start prioritizing some things based on council's prerogatives.
That leads you into the next question.
Next meeting. Mr. Little's question is when we're going to have the audit. I've set a deadline for the next meeting, and met with Mr. Coach and I, or Mr. Lee's aware of that, so hopefully next meeting we'll have that for you guys. We can't make budget decisions without it, that we all know, so next meeting is when we should have that. That's it.
Any appointment, any new, old, or other business? If not, we adjourn.